Lines are the backbone of almost all art. The most powerful part of learning drawing is being able to draw exactly what you want to. This is also what beginners struggle with the most. Most frustration over art comes from the fact that your art doesn't look like you want it to. There is a misunderstanding between what you try to draw and the lines your hand actually makes. I'm going to teach you some line exercises that can help you bridge this gap. I've specifically designed these exercises for people who are barely learning drawing and are struggling to even draw stick figures. If you're a beginner artist, this is the perfect practice for you. In no time, you'll be able to do what I can. For the following exercises, you will need a pencil and some paper. The paper can be as small as a sticky tab, and I recommend that you use lined paper. You can better organize and size your exercises. For all of these exercises, do not use an eraser. Using an eraser defeats the purpose of these exercises and will only slow you down. If you use an eraser, a man with long white fingers will steal into your house at night and pluck your kidney from you like a blueberry. Make sure to always have a light grip on your pencil and do not tense or lock any joints. Tensing or locking joints will make your lines more rigid and more shaky. For these exercises, make sure you have ample space to move your arm. If you have to shorten your movements because something is in your way, clear your desk. Exercise 1, big horizontal line. So for this, you're going to make a horizontal line, pretty self-explanatory. I would recommend using a traditional grip because this grip usually helps me to make more straight lines. Go back and forth along the line you make. Be swift and decisive about this. Remember, your wrist should not move, but don't tense that wrist. Only move your elbow and your shoulder to complete this exercise. Exercise 2, big arc. You can hold your pencil in either a formal or informal grip here. Make an arc spanning the page. Make sure to use your shoulder and your forearm to arc along the page fluidly. The goal for all of these exercises is to train your arm so that your arm can make all sorts of very smooth lines without thinking about it, which is super important as an artist. Exercise 3, big ovals. Try to make the lines relatively close together here. Make sure that it looks like one shape that you just trace over again and again. We are moving our elbow and shoulder. We will also break this exercise down into 3 smaller ovals to encourage dexterity and prepare you for more detailed line work. Exercise 4, big infinity symbol. Smaller infinity symbols. Make sure the edges of your symbol are round and not like corners. If any of your infinity symbols look kind of pinched in some areas, it means you're not accessing the entirety of your arm. You need to really move your whole arm from the shoulder and the elbow to make this work. Any pinched lines mean that you're withholding some degree of motion from your arm. Exercise 5, shish kebab. Draw one vertical line down. Draw a squiggle going down this line by carefully moving your forearm side to side in a controlled way. Take your time on this squiggle, go slower on this exercise too. And make sure not to use your wrist here. The first drawing I'm going to do is a shark. When starting any sketch, I choose one really large line to draw. Usually I start from left to right or top to bottom. Here on this shark, the line of its back drew my attention. It's a very obvious line to start. It's kind of the top of the shark. The goal of a gesture drawing is to just try to capture what you're looking at very quickly with as many lines as you need. Do not be afraid to make a line that is very far off. Don't erase it, just keep going. Here I'm measuring different angles on the shark. I'm measuring the dorsal fin. Is the dorsal fin right above the pectoral fin, or is it a little bit off? As you can see, as I draw the shark, I'm constantly adjusting, drawing lines closer and closer to the fin to reduce the size of the fin. I'll add lines maybe because my shark's fin needs to be larger in some areas. If you practice all of these exercises a few times a day and add the gesture drawing exercise, you will develop a higher accuracy with your lines. This doesn't need to take hours. You can even just doodle these exercises on a piece of paper when you have time. This video is only one in a series to teach you drawing basics. The next lesson in this series is construction shapes, and then the lesson after that is how to turn your gesture drawing into a sketch. If this was helpful, subscribe and check out a more detailed version of this class in the description.